For the month of October, I challenged myself to take a clip at least 10 seconds of something that I found to be beautiful. In searching for beauty in the world, I found peace and beauty in life. Throughout a majority of this year, I felt lost, I felt alone, and this is the first time in a really long time that I didn't think to myself I wanted to go back to who I was before my depressive episode in March, before my traumatic event in May. I really just wanted to find a new version of myself. I had a conversation with one of my friends at the very early stages of living with trauma. Something that I mentioned to her is I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. And her response was that it's time that I get to choose who I can be. And I thought it was powerful in the moment, but I realized that I was too weak to put that into practice. And it was this month with finding beauty in the world that I realized that I can finally do that. I was living through so many different things this month, mostly just capitalism getting the best of me, and it felt like I was pretty much drowning. However, because I made a commitment to myself that every day throughout the month of October, I will find something beautiful in the world, I also put it as a reminder, so it was the first thing I thought of in the morning, and I realized, I really love the mornings, and I've always been a morning person, but I found a majority of my things, not just because of the timer that I found things in the morning, but I love the sunlight. I love appreciating moving in the morning and how the light glistens in my room. It's just so gorgeous. And because I know that mornings are my time that make me the happiest, that I find the most beauty in the world, I know for the future, the person who I want to be is someone who's up in the mornings, because that's where the world is the most beautiful. In finding beauty every single day, I came back into realizing that the world isn't always bad and isn't always attacking me. And when you've been isolated by the world and you feel like the universe is penalizing you for existing, it's kind of nice to reward yourself with the thought that not everything is bad. There is good in the world. And I found that good in making this video. If you remember, in July, I disassociated like crazy, and in August, I was slowly coming into myself. In September, I was still a bit hazy, and October was the first month I actually felt present. I felt like I was a part of me in search of beauty in the world, and I liked being someone who was looking for the better part of life. I liked being a person who was looking for the good in life, and I want to continue to be that person. It's really funny how life sucked for a majority of this year, and it took a silly little task of just finding beauty every day that changed my perspective on life entirely. And it was in finding beauty in the world every day I realized that I can find beauty in the person I decide to become. Because I considered the world beautiful, I considered the world to be something worth living in. And I think it's time that I become happy with who I am, and that starts by creating a version of myself that I'm really excited to be every morning, just as I was excited to wake up every morning and find how beautiful the world is. I think finding and documenting beauty in my everyday life fueled me to take steps to finding who the new version of me is. Finding daily beauty allowed me to mourn the past me and gave me a glance into my life now and how beautiful it currently is. I'm now able to craft a new version of myself, and there's a beauty in knowing that I'm back in my body and back in control. And I need to work on crafting a new version of myself every single day. And I hope one day I will think of myself just as beautiful as all these clips.